Good morning. Welcome to this morning's meditation here on the Deanne Awakening Love page with me, Deanne. Good morning. I just wait for you all to find me slightly later time this morning, which wasn't planned, but anyway, here I am. Please say hi and where you're tuning in from when you see this. Today's session is all about meditation and sharing. We'll do some sharing as well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I know I'm a bit late, a bit later. I was running late, so I just thought, right, I'll start later. Go with the flow a little bit. Hi, Washington. So, yeah, hello to everybody. I'll just give you a few moments. How is everyone? I've got my water here. It's very, very still outside here. Hello, Berlin. I know I said I was going to count the days, didn't I? How many days I've been doing these, and I haven't, but I will. I've got like a list of things to get through today, and because I didn't do them yesterday, I've got a bigger list. But that's okay, isn't it? We trust in divine timing with life, that we always get everything done exactly at the time when it needs to be done, and you can't force yourself to do things if you don't feel like doing them. And what I've noticed is that if you just wait, you go do what you do feel like doing, and then you just wait, and the moment will come when you have the energy to go and do that other thing that you were putting off. So wow, good evening, Christchurch, New Zealand. Hello. Amazing. We're global again. We've got Germany, USA, and New Zealand. That's incredible, isn't it? Good evening to you. Yeah, so, we can't force ourselves to do things. So it's much better to just sit, go do something else, and then when you feel to go and do that thing that you're putting off, go do it then. And don't worry about what order you do things in. Life tends to flow much better if you don't force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to do at certain times. And also, I've spoken about this before, just learning to say no to people as well. Like if you don't feel like doing something or being with someone or helping someone with something, then just, learn where your boundaries are, learn to say no, and notice when you're, the reaction in your body is a very clear yes, when you can feel that you want to move towards that thing, person, whatever it is, situation. And notice when it's a very clear no, and you just want to be in your own space and do your own thing. I think it's so important to recognize this. We're all so geared towards people pleasing and doing what everyone else wants, and not listening to ourselves. And right now is a great opportunity, of course, to listen to yourself more and more, and to really connect with yourself and understand your yes and no, and where those boundaries are, and watching for when you do feel pulled towards something, someone, or a situation, and learning from that as a guidance for in all areas of your life. Just being more and more aware of how it feels in the body when you say yes to yourself, and how it feels in the body when you say no. And maybe there's even a sound. Some of us have sounds. Like if someone else might say no, but you might go mm-mm. And that's your no. Or you might go mm-hmm. And that'll be your yes. But you'll feel it within your body. It'll go sort of beyond what you actually say. You'll feel the experience of it in your body. So it's really good to get into understanding how our body's reactions to various things are, where our yes and no is towards things. Good morning. Yeah, please say hi, where you're tuning in from. It's always great to know, because we are a global community here, and it's just fun to know where everybody is and how this social media is gathering us from all different parts of the earth, of the world. It's cool. So yeah, learning to listen to your body for that yes or no towards something, and also to really tune in to get into your intuition. And often that might be sitting and putting a hand on your heart and just feeling into the situation. If you have a big decision about something, shall I move here, or shall I stay, or shall I do this, or shall I apply for that job, or whatever it might be. Obviously there's billions of possibilities of situations where we might need to make some kind of choice, or at least feel like we're making some kind of choice. So to just sit quietly with yourself and close your eyes, and to just go within your own being and feel how it feels to be in that situation, and your body will let you know a very clear yes or a clear no. You might get some kind of insight that this might not be for now, but it might be for later on, a few days time, a few weeks time, a few months time, a few years time, who knows. But so many of us just go around and we don't listen to the body. We don't listen to our inner intelligence that's guiding us all the time. And it could be the very still, small, quiet voice that we hear, which is our inner guidance, or it could be just a feeling, a sensation, or it might be that when you go within your being, you get a vision of the possibility, and or a sign of some description. And signs can be things that people say, actual signs. If you ask for a sign, please God give me a sign, sometimes you will literally get a sign with the word on it or whatever, which is always very funny. But that shows our connection with the earth, with the world, that there is no separation when these things happen. But also people can be signs, music can be signs. We can people can sometimes point us in the right direction. We just have to be aware enough to know that they're there, sort of guiding us and helping us to see a different way. So signs come in so many different ways. The way we feel, other people may show us something, literally a sign of some description, words in a book, music might come onto the radio. There's all these possibilities around us for guidance if we listen and we open, because life is always trying to show us something. But often we're just like so blinkered, and we go, right, I'm going to go this way, and I'm not going to look that way, or see what my options are, or even look around 360 degrees of what my experience is. So then life can't show us all the beauty, all the possibilities. We think we know everything, and we think we've got time in life. We think we've got time, but actually it's always about now, and what we're doing now, and how we're feeling now, and where is that sense of movement in your body. Where are you being moved to? Where are you being pulled to? Just notice that there's a flow, a current, a kind of river of energy that moves through everything. And it's, and this was something that I just looked at this morning. I woke up late, I noticed the clock, and I was like, okay, well, I could either panic and get ready for, 8:15 or whatever, or I could decide that I was going to do this at 9, not panic, get ready, and then kind of arrive at the perfect time. I know that there are ideas about time. People have different ideas about being on time and what that looks like. You know, the clock strikes whatever, and you know, you have to be there at that time, or it's a disaster. But actually, you know, often if we are late for something, there's a bigger reason than what we can see. And it could even be like a life-changing reason why we're late at times, especially if we're traveling somewhere. Often if I've been late, and late isn't a usual thing of mine, but anyway, often if I've been late traveling somewhere, I'll discover that there's been an accident on that road, you know, like half an hour before, and had I left any earlier, chances are I would have been in that, behind it, in front of it, you know, somewhere closer to that accident than I was because I was half an hour late. That's one example, but you can see what I mean, you know. So we're always being guided, we're always being shown, even when things appear to have gone wrong in some way, actually life is still guiding us, life is still holding us. So, good morning, Liverpool. Yes, boundaries, big time thing for me, very timely. Yes, they are, because, you know, like I say, so many of us are just very much about, have been taught to people please and not to have clear boundaries, and not even to really recognize what clear boundaries are. So, you know, for some of us, it can be a real learning curve to say, you know what, I'm going to put a boundary here with this. I'm going to, you know, and it can be things like the time that we get up, time that we go to bed, switching our phones off, creating our own space, our own boundaried space, and that no one can come into that space at certain times of the day or evening, so that we have, you know, what we need first and foremost, because we aren't really much use to anyone else unless we really take care of ourselves, unless we have clear boundaries on what we will and won't do, and where our energy is going or not going. So yeah, it's just really important to look out for this, and also to make sure it's very easy. And probably some of you are, you know, self-employed, or maybe you're working more from home and you're having to really structure your day in some way so that you have time for yourself, you have time for work, you have time for a break, you have time to eat, you know, you have time to look after yourself, to nurture yourself, to be with your family, to be with your partner. All these things are important and take, you know, boundaries and clarity and communication. So it's really important in life to create these, and even if you're not really sure what you're doing, just taking that step to say, okay, so now every day I'm going to switch my phone off at this time so that I don't get disturbed, so that I can read my book, have a bath, you know, go out for a walk, whatever it might be, write your book, you know, whatever it is. And just to have clarity with your own nurturing, nourishment, and to protect your space, you know, to yeah, really it's all about protecting his boundaries. Are really healthy. They're not like, oh, I'm closing my walls, that's it, no one's coming in. I don't mean that kind of boundary. I mean healthy boundaries that just help us to support ourselves, and actually by supporting ourselves we are supporting others. And we're also saying, you know, the message is, okay, if you ring me at this time, I'm not going to answer my phone, so then someone will stop doing that. Or, you know, if you message me at this time, and of course with my work, I have in the past, not now so much, which is interesting, but maybe that's because I've put boundaries in place. People would message me at all times of the day and night, and it was too much, and I would have to say no. A very clear no, you know, these are the times, this is when I'm available, this is when I'm not available. As an example, I mean, boundaries happen in different ways. you know, and we can create loving boundaries that hold ourselves in a way that we need to be held and nourished and nurtured and looked after. And you know, our space and our time is very precious, because we never get it back. Every experience that we have, every time that we spend, we never get that same moment again. So, you know, if you spend time with someone, you never get that moment back. It will always look different the next time. And this, I think this is something also that people don't really ever think about too much, but is to recognize that every moment that shows up is unique, and how we spend and share and spend, you see, you know, the quantity of anything that we really have is time, in the sense that it is the most precious thing out of everything that we own and everything that we share. You know, love and time, or what appears to be time, moments spent, and we do spend them because we don't get them back. You know, moments spent with others, with ourselves, in community, in groups, however we spend our moments, we never get them back. And you can even say, oh, I'm going to do this, you know, because you have the same idea to do something again, but it never shows up in the same way. And you can miss moments too. You can spend time with someone and you can not fully be present with that someone, and you can not say what you wanted to say or do what you wanted to do, and you don't ever get that moment back again. So just, if you can come into everything in life with presence, with awareness, to say, okay, so now in this moment I'm, you know, spending time with myself. Now in this moment I'm spending time with them. I'm going to be fully with them, fully engaged in the conversation. The boundary as well might be, actually, if you're with somebody and you're focusing on them, switch your phone off. You know, stop any other distractions, because if you're being present with someone, that means that you're not being distracted by anything else that could be going on around you, or anyone else's demands on your time or whatever. And it's the same if you're focusing on work, you know, and you've got a list of things to do, which I happen to have today, then focus on that and switch everything else off, because there's so many distractions available to us now. I'm sure you're all fully aware of that. But yeah, just to come back to that point, when you're with someone, when you're engaged in an activity, you know, be present, be fully with that situation, that action, that person, that job, that, you know, whatever it is. When you're reading, just be fully immersed in the book. Don't let your mind go wandering off to other places. Be exactly where you are in that moment. And it can even be, you know, when you're drinking your water, just to notice the water, to notice the glass, to just be really present with that process of drinking water, or having your cup of tea, whatever it might be. Because we really don't get moments back in the same way, and I think everybody forgets this. And, you know, if you want to spend time with someone, then you need to make that time, that space. If you want to commit to a project, then you need to have clear boundaries and make that commitment. And something very, very important is that small actions that we take every day make a big difference to our lives. So if you have a bit of a routine, if you have a morning routine, I think I may have spoken about this before in a previous video, it's a really nice way of bringing yourself into the day, setting an intention for the day, you know, having your boundaries, and giving yourself what you need at the start of the day. Because, you know, you're important. You are important, you are unique, you are beautiful. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you do, what you don't do, what your bank balance is. Who cares? You are beautiful, you are important, and you are needed in this world. And please do respect yourself and have your boundaries and love yourself and be kind to yourself and speak to yourself in a kind way, because there's plenty of other people that will have opinions, and not everyone will always like you. Not everyone will always get on with you. That's just the way life is. And again, this is all about this people-pleasing thing. Stop it. You don't need to people please all the time. What you do need is to recognize it's your life. You never get those moments back. You never get that time back with anybody. If you don't do the things that you really want to do and commit them to them, they won't happen. It's very simple. So commit yourself to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Have your clear boundaries. Say no to people if you need to. Say yes to people when you want to. Feel in your body how it feels when you say yes to something. Feel how it feels in your body when you say no to something, and recognize that in various situations and experiences, and get used to that yes and no response of the body. And like I say, it might involve your voice, it might involve sound. Our yes and no can come from different places in our body, and our understanding of that process can be different. We're all unique, we're all beautiful, we're all unique. We all have gifts, talents, and abilities. We all have things to share. That's why we're all here at this time. There's no mistake that you're here. It's not a mistake. You're here because your gifts, talents, abilities, and what you are and what you're being are needed in the world. That's why you're here at this time. Never forget that. Never forget that. Thank you. I needed this today. This was confirmation of my inner need to trust my instincts. Yes, absolutely, you do. Trust your instincts. Listen to your body. Listen to your inner guidance. Be clear with yourself. Communicate. Communication is so, so important in all situations. And it is a process. We learn how to better communicate as we grow, as we experience, as we see what we don't want, and we recognize what we do want, and we learn to communicate. And there's so many different ways that we communicate to our body, through our language, through our feelings, through our emotions, through our, many of us have extra kind of sensory perception of things. We're intuitive, we're claircognizant, clairsentient, clairvoyant, all these things, and more of those are developing in people all the time now. So we're communicating and engaging with the world and others in very beautiful different ways that perhaps we weren't experiencing before. Being in nature, you really notice that connection when you just let go and you come into presence in that space. You feel your connection with the trees, you feel your connection with the grass, with the plants, with the flowers, with the wind, with the sun, with the sky, with everything. You feel that, those nuances of connection, of vibration, of, just interconnectedness. And it's so beautiful, and we have that with everything around us all the time. So just learning to navigate our way through this, using all of our feeling, all of our experience, all of our, just listening to the body really in a very deep way. And meditation is a way that gets you feeling and recognizing these subtleties of the body and the emotions and the feelings and the connections that we have, and just to never take anything for granted, because like I say, like I've said before, you don't know, you never know if you get that time back. If you do get that time back, it's never going to look the same anyway. So it's a precious thing to spend time. And I always think that when somebody dies quite young, the fact that you spent time, that you got to spend time with them in such a short life, is such a blessing that they gave you that time. So, you know, there are different ways of looking at this, really. But the main thing is just to be aware, to be in awareness. Great wisdom for today, thank you. Thank you. I want to care less of what another thinks. If we're constantly worrying about what other people think and living our lives based on what other people think, we're not living. We're actually trapped. We're kind of in a trap. We can't be constantly thinking about what other people think of us or don't think of us, or what they think we should do or not do. No, you have to let that go, because you're never going to know what anyone else is thinking unless they tell you. And even then, it's up to you whether you take that on board or not. Disapproval of others. First of all, approve of yourself. And then whether people disapprove of you or approve of you makes no difference. And really that's freedom then, when you're not bound by what others think or feel about you all the time. I don't want to worry for their validation, and I will practice graceful, authentic communication. Beautiful. No, don't worry about other people's validation. What is really important is that you validate yourself. You are a divine, beautiful being. You are heaven sent, literally. So, you know, validate yourself first and foremost. Love yourself first and foremost. It's so important. The most important relationship is with ourselves. Yes, exactly. I say that all the time. Had experience with someone with narcissist traits, noticed a sense of relief after the initial shock. Once I put boundaries in, seeing it as a learning, what is it in me that brought this person in? Also looking at my unhealed wounds. Such a very timely message. 1 week today. Yeah, well, you know, this is the other thing with narcissistic traits. You know, we all have those within us. We're all aspects of everything. Things that show up are just other parts of ourselves that we either don't accept, we don't like, or we don't know, we don't understand, we don't want. I'm not saying put up with bad behaviour. I'm never an advocate for that. Always looking after yourself, trusting yourself, and, you know, if necessary, distancing yourself from people that treat you any less or disrespect you in any way. But yes, look at what it is within you that doesn't like yourself, disrespects yourself, doesn't have clear boundaries. Often that's when these kind of things show up, when we're not, to show us something more about ourselves. And it's never actually the, you know, it's like, don't judge the person, because each one of us on a soul level is so beautiful, just so beautiful. But actions, you know, the actions that people take, we can judge the actions that people take, but not the being, not the soul. And of course we must, we mustn't put up with anything less than what we deserve. But some people believe they deserve less than they do. And so again, coming back to the point about boundaries, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, looking after yourself, all of these things, being kind to yourself primarily, because yes, you know, all relationships start with you. Everything starts with you. If you want to make a difference in the world, and you have to be that difference, you have to be that change, you have to be that example, you have to live in a way that offers that change to the world around you, to the people around you. Only then will there be a ripple effect. If we say no to certain behaviours, and we all say no to certain behaviours, those behaviours will stop. If we stop patterns that have been going on for, hundreds of years, they will stop. They all stop with us. It's not them out there that are going to sort this out. It's not that group of people. It's not that group of people. It's you. It starts with each and every single one of us. If we want to make a difference, if we want to make a change, we need to really be that, embody that, feel that, and walk it, talk it out everywhere. Be a shining example of what you want to see. Don't wait for somebody else to do it or to be it for you. Just be it now. So I think there's like an old way of thinking, which is where people always, worry about what other people think and what other people say and do. And yes, we all get caught up in that to one degree or another, because we all want to be liked. We all want to be loved. Who doesn't want to be loved? Who doesn't want to be liked? Who doesn't want to be who doesn't want that connection with other human beings? I don't think there's many people that don't want that. But we have to look at it from a healthy perspective. If we're constantly giving our power away to what everyone else says or does or feels about us, then our happiness is always based on what other people say or think or feel about us. And then we'll never be happy, because who knows what that's going to look like. You have to find contentment in yourself first. You have to find love for yourself first. It's so important. And don't base your life on what other people think all the time, because they're living their lives. No one has the right to live your life for you. Don't give your power away. Trust yourself. Like I say, some people will like you, some people just won't. There's not a lot you can do about it, and it doesn't matter. Just be kind to yourself. So, we're going to do a meditation now for anyone that wants to join in the meditation. Make yourselves comfortable. If it's late where you are, evening, late afternoon, evening, please feel free to lie down and listen to this. If not, the ideal position for meditation is sitting upright on a chair or with your legs crossed, back straight, and some support behind your back. Grab your headphones now if you want to. Go into another room if you need to. Whatever you need to do to create your own space. As this precious time for meditation that we're going to share with each other is available. So just make that space how you need it. Make sure you're warm enough, that you've got whatever it is that you need right now. And the first thing that we're all going to do together is we're all going to check in by having a breath together. And the breath is what brings us present, what brings us to the body, what brings us to the feeling of now, being open to this beautiful now that is right here, that we are. We're not separate from this moment. This moment is what we are. We are here, we are in the moment, we're part of the moment. It's not separate from us. It is our experience. So just placing one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart chakra, taking a breath in, down deep into the belly. And just bringing yourself totally to this space. And we're just going to have some silence this morning. So, just closing your eyes. That may guide you a little bit, but it's going to be mostly silent meditation. So closing your eyes, going within your own being, within your own precious being, and just noticing right now how you feel. Noticing how the body feels. Noticing any sensations on the skin. Just breathing easily and gently. Just become very aware of the process of the air moving through the body as you breathe in and breathe out. Air filling the lungs. Noticing the breath. Also noticing anywhere in the body where there may be some tension or some holding on or some contraction. And just letting go. And just taking a breath in now, very consciously, breathing down deep into the belly. And you can slowly open your eyes. And just give yourselves a moment . Thank you for being here for this morning's meditation here on the Deanne Awakening Love page. You can connect with me here on this page, Deanne Awakening Love, or on my Deanne page. Please check out my website, which is www.awakeninglove.co.uk. If you'd like one-to-one with me, please let me know. I'm available to work with one-to-one. I have a sliding scale so that nobody is left out with their finances. Also, I will include my PayPal link with this video for anyone who wants to make a contribution to my sharings. It helps just keep everything going. So I'll include my PayPal link in the description of the video, along with my website as well. If you would like to connect with my YouTube channel, because I've got lots of videos on there and all of these will go on there at a slightly later date as well, let me know. Just put YouTube in the comments. So lovely to be with you all here. Have a blessed day, blessed evening, blessed afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I will be back again tomorrow at 8 a.m. Well, I'll aim to be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. British summertime, London time, and I hope that you can join me again tomorrow for tomorrow's offering and meditation. So, much love, many blessings, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.